iol.co.za/Sunday Independent. This was released a day ago. Today is Tuesday, the 3rd of January 2023, written by Setumo Stone and Karabo Nkwepe. The article headline being Zondo exposed, what the Commission did not want SA to know. Tugboats tender. Sharma said that at the end of 2010, Transnet chairperson Mafika Mkhwanazi appointed Don Mkhwanazi to lead the BADC committee. Sharma was then a member of the committee as well as a member of the corporate governance committee. Around mid-2011, he says, the committee considered a tender for tugboats and Don Mkhwanazi's company, SA Shipyards, was a bidder. Open quotes. Though during a meeting of the BADC, Don Mkhwanazi recused himself when the matter was being discussed, he did receive the minutes by way of email and again in the pack for the board meeting, close quote, said Sharma. After he raised a question about this conflict, the tender was eventually withdrawn as a non-award and reissued, making certain board members unhappy. Don Mkhwanazi was removed from the board around June 2012. The same tender got underway, and in September 2012, SA Shipyards was proposed to the BADC as the winner. But in the document pack provided to all committee members, Sharma picked up a notation from the Transnet Finance Department raising a concern about the winning bidder's ability to continue as a going concern. Open quote. It appeared that the company owed Transnet 18 million rand in back rent for a number of years and that Transnet had cancelled the lease. This was an obvious red flag and I raised it, asking how the company had failed to pay rent for so many years and why Transnet not acted. Further, how would it be possible for the company to execute the tender if they had no premises? This position was again met with resistance from fellow board members, close quote. At a meeting on 22 October 2012, he says, the BADC resolved to appoint an external auditor to evaluate whether the bid had been tainted and if SA Shipyards had been favoured. However, a committee meeting chaired by Tsepe or Tsipi in November 2012, without the forensic investigation being concluded, awarded the bid to SA Shipyards. Sharma said the external forensic investigation was concluded in June 2013, but the findings were never addressed. Open quote, the report showed that Transnet favoured SA Shipyards, close quote. In 2019, the Sunday Independent reported that the Public Protector's Office was investigating the disappearance of the records of an investigation which implicated Gordhan and Ramos. The investigation was conducted by Madonsela, who had investigated alleged tender irregularities and abuse of power at Transnet in 2009. The probe covered claims that former Transnet Chief Executive Siyabonga Gama was smeared and charged a few days before the cabinet was expected to announce Ramaphosa's replacement. Gama was competing with Gordhan for the position of Transnet boss before he was charged with misconduct in 2007. The complaint was lodged by Mentor on December 3rd, 2009. At the time, former Public Protector spokesperson Opa Sikhalwe confirmed that Madonsela's report on the matter could not be found in their system. The Sunday Independent has seen evidence that Madonsela did investigate the matter. In a letter dated December 22, 2010, she wrote to the then Transnet chairperson Mafika Mkhwanazi, detailing the complaint her office had received and asked for further information from the organization. Madonsela's office had requested the following from Transnet. All minutes of board meetings wherein the appointment of the successor to Ms. Maria Ramos as group chief was discussed, all minutes of board meetings where Mr. Gama's disciplinary hearing was discussed, a profile of disciplinary hearings against executives who exceed their financial limits in relation to tenders, whether the condonation practice referred to in item 4 above exists within Transnet, and a profile of such condonations, whether there was currently within the employ of Transnet a person called Sipho Dube who might shed light on an aspect of the public prosecutor's investigation. iol.co.za. I'm reading this article just to highlight that we live in a criminal state, being South Africa. Not to say that Cyril Ramaphosa and his administration are better or worse than the previous administration by Jacob Zuma, or the administration of Kgalema Motlanthe, or the administration of Thabo Mbeki, or the administration of Nelson Mandela. The reality is that there are people at the top who have agendas. Some of these agendas are economic agendas, which are seen through politics. But what we find, of course, is that these people have captured the judiciary, they capture the banks, and they capture certain people in the police, in the soldiers, in the media. And they paint themselves as these holier than thou. But essentially, they are all the same. This country is run by various gangs, and these gangs are constantly fighting amongst each other. Currently, I'm worried, or not worried, I'm fascinated by how Ace Magashule, maybe a Didi Mabuza, and other people under the supposed RET faction and Jacob Zuma are struggling to take some of these people to court. But they want the public, us, to then pick a side. Whereas none of them actually really care about us. All they care about is getting access to the tax coffers, getting access to the state-owned enterprises, getting access to the treasury, getting access to foreign direct investment, and making sure that they have access to the biggest Johannesburg Stock Exchange run companies and become favored by the people that run those companies and given board seats, given tenders, and given other favors. And then, of course, they're given favors by foreign alliances and foreign governments so that they can chow money. It is not about the people of South Africa. It is not about the ordinary citizen. My plea to you is, of course, read these articles. Understand that we are run by various gangs and mafias, not just black people, but white people, Indians, some Chinese people, a lot of foreigners, illegal foreigners here, and a lot of foreigners abroad who all have a vested interest in the South African economy and how it's run. And for that, of course, the masses of our people are given grants and small crumbs so that they can shut up and they can be distracted. And those of us who are woke, who are conscious, unfortunately end up angry because we realize how things are run, but we almost cannot do anything. And we're too scared to build our own armies. We're too scared to fight fire with fire. And we're really not really interested in getting into politics. And we're not interested in running the economy. And we're scared of even getting into business because we're scared of being terminated, aka assassinated and murdered. That's the world that we live in. My plea to you is read these articles, understand the world that you live in, realize that everyone has an agenda, everyone is biased, everyone is focused on a certain faction, and then focus on yourself. Make sure that you gym and have a good body. Make sure that you're reading good and healthy content. Make sure that you are getting weapons, guns, and other such so that you can defend yourself and your family. Uplift and empower your family. Buy from your family. Work for your family. And then plug into your community and find good people who are biased towards you. Have your own agenda. Have your own people that are captured and find your way to be aligned to people that will serve you. If Cyril Ramaphosa's administration gives your family tenders, whether in government or through state-owned enterprises, if Jacob Zuma's faction was the one giving you tenders or access to SOEs and other companies, if maybe Thabo Mbeki was the one that helped your family get board seats, etc., if certain white people, billionaires, certain white organization, certain Indian organizations, some of the Jewish Board of Deputies and other organizations in this country favor your family and favor your community, align with those people and make sure that you serve your agenda. Don't find yourself being a martyr and being sacrificed for the agendas of other people, going around saying that you support Jacob Zuma, you support Cyril Ramaphosa, you support Didi Mabuza, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, Lindiwe Sisulu, Herman Mashaba, Musi Maimane, John Steenhuisen, Mangosuthu Buthelezi, Gayton McKenzie, etc. Constantly supporting people that actually are all about uplifting their own families, their own communities, their own allies and alliances. What is your agenda? My agenda is penalism. My agenda is finding good people who believe in hard work. People that when I wake up in the morning, I see them going to work, plowing their trade, growing food so we can eat, educating and empowering other people, and trying to ensure that criminals are not stealing from the poor and from the middle class who work so hard and so tirelessly to keep the rich rich, to make sure that they're paying tax so that the poor can get fed. I believe in good people where I see good people like Nhlanhla Lux, Gayton McKenzie, Ian Cameron, Chris Papas, Duduzane Zuma, some of the members of AfriForum, Gift of the Givers with Imtiaz Suleiman, and other people. I try to support them. Do they have agendas? Of course. Do some of their agendas favor racists? Of course. Do some of their agendas favor the politically corrupt? Of course. But I look at the work that they are doing. I look at AfriForum building Soltech. I look at the patrolling of the borders. I look at them fighting for some of the small people. I look at Duduzane Zuma cleaning certain spaces. Does he have an agenda? Probably. Does he want power and wealth? Probably. But is he doing good work? Definitely. Gayton McKenzie wants power, wants money, etc. But he's doing good work in the Karoo. You look at Imtiaz Suleiman. I don't know what Gift of the Givers does. Some of them have been accused of money laundering. We don't know. But we know that when there are floods, we know that when people are poor and hungry, when there are some natural disasters, they are there to help. I see Ian Cameron patrolling townships without a budget from the government, without tax money to help. So I will constantly support people that are doing good work, and I hope you will do the same as well. But most importantly, focus on yourself, focus on your family, focus on your community. Take back the power and become powerful yourself. Read up on some of these things, and when you're lost, refer to George Orwell's Animal Farm, refer to George Orwell's 1984. Go and watch some of the videos of Yuri Noah Muhammad, Yuri, Noah Harari, Yuval Noah Harari. Go watch some of his videos. Constantly educate yourself on propaganda, on how the world works. Everyone has got their own agenda. I have my own. I've said it out loud. I've said that I'm trying to colonize minds, and I'm trying to uplift and empower people so that I can be the Jesus Christ, I can be the Muhammad, I can be the Shembe, I can be the Likhanyane, the Bushiri, the Pastor Chris, I can be the Putin, I can be the Xi Jinping, I can be the Joe Biden, the Donald Trump, the Jacob Zuma, the Cyril Ramaphosa. I want to have my own agenda, and my agenda is getting as many people as possible to work hard, to serve humanity, to make sure that they are aligning with nature so that we're not destroying our beautiful world. So that when we are advancing technology, it is not destroying so many other parts that will later on come back to bite us in the ass. I'm about intentional parenting. I'm about community. I'm about value and value exchange over money. I'm about bartering. I'm about winning. And I'm about creating a better world and making sure that really, really evil, bad people know that there are really, really good people that are willing to fight them at their level. Pin you all the black pain. Have a great and blessed day. Cheers.